In a museum known for its collection of old masters, European and American art, the Hyde has now become the home of a 160-work modern and contemporary art collection. On June 9, 2017, the Hyde collection opened the Fibus and Schmidt Gallery, featuring an exhibition of works donated to the museum by Schenectady architect Werner Fibus and his late partner Jim Schmidt, a collection they had assembled throughout their lives. The opening of this gallery positions the Hyde collection as a regional hub for modern and contemporary art, rounding out the museum's 4,000-work collection to span centuries. This gift of a lifetime started in 1948, when two young men studying architecture at the University of Cincinnati struck up a friendship. After working separately for a few years after college, they joined forces at a Schenectady-based architecture firm. Their work, designing major public buildings, was well respected and sought after, allowing them the means to pursue their passion for art.
Jim, he had a collecting sense, so we got into the world of galleries in New York, and then we went to Sotheby's and Christie's. And at one point I said to Jim, you know, we don't have to buy everything we like. And he said to me, I'll never forget, he says to me, so what are you going to do with your wealth? Oh, we bought art.
The couple spent much of their free time in New York City's art scene, rarely traveling up the Northway. But in 2003, some pieces from their collection were included in an exhibition at the museum. Later, Werner and Jim had a showing drawn entirely from their collection, and they became active museum members.
Jim and I were always very concerned that the Hyde did not have art of our time. We suggested that we'd like to lend things to them so they could expose the museum to the art that we thought they should have, as well as what they had.
Jim Schmidt and Werner Fibus shared taste centered on non-objective art. They believed it had the transformative power to speak to people.
Art was a collection of ideas, and that when you had an art exhibit, it would be really an exhibit not of just art, but it would be an exhibit of ideas. And we thought that is what made art really exciting. Once you were able to respond to that, you were hooked.
As Jim and Werner grew older, they had to consider the future of their collection. Any number of museums would have happily received their life's work.
We always talked about, as we were getting old, what's going to become of all that art. We gave it to a museum in New York. It would end up mostly in storage. And besides, New York has enough of its own. They don't need it. Glens Falls, we felt, needed it badly. So it made sense to actually give the entire collection to the Hyde.
Collecting isn't just an accumulation of individual things, it's about the people that gathered that work. Werner and Jim gravitated toward this museum because it was in their new region. I think it's just remarkable that they saw that a whole piece of time was missing and knew that they could make that match join.
What a great love story this is, that Charlotte Hyde and Louis Hyde would spend most of their lives collecting masterpieces, works of art from Europe and from America, and then bequeath that to the community. And then here we have Werner Fibus and Jim Schmidt, another great love story, spending their lives together collecting modern and contemporary art and doing the same thing, making sure that it will be available to be seen for generations to come.
Come on in! Come on in!
Thank you, Werner and Jim. Your generous gift transformed the future of the Hyde collection and ensures that the museum will be able to share the power of the art of our time for generations.